1 year in the making. Today's the day. We're gonna be paddling from Hoover Dam to the Mexican border. Should take us 12 days. This is day one. Loading up, we're with Desert Adventures. They're gonna take us down right to the dam. We're gonna put in there and we're gonna get on our journey. There is meant to be some headwind today, so our first day we're gonna get a good workout, trying to get through that, but we only have 16 miles to go today. We're gonna stop, see some hot springs. We're gonna mess around a little bit on the river, take our time today, just kind of, you know, get the joints loose, but we should have a good day today. Follow along, let's have some fun. Woo! All right, here we are, start of the trip. We're at the base of Hoover Dam. Had to get a government pass to get down here, but check it out. Pretty awesome. We only have 15 minutes to get down and on the water, so gotta move. Here we are on river. We are on mile number 1. 311-ish to go. Got the dam behind me there, forest. We're gonna paddle about 1 or 2 minutes down, and then we're gonna hit the Sauna Cave. We've got headlamps, so we're gonna go into that and see what we can find. Feels good being on the river. Weather's nice. 70 degrees right now. Water's 59 degrees. We're the last of the pack of people getting dropped off here, a little bit by design. We're gonna kind of go slow today, take our time and check out all the things that are around here on the way down the river. Only a short 16 miles today. It's not short, but it seems short in comparison to the other days that we're gonna do. What up, boys? But yeah, pretty cool to see the dam behind us. You don't get to make it up here very often. So, trying to take it all in, go slow enough, and yeah, we're gonna have some fun today. Woo! Yeah.
Oh my God.
All right, that was the Sauna Cave. Got a good sweat going on. Forest coming out of it. It's a beautiful day. This is about the only rapids you're gonna see for the next 12 days. Woo! Woo! We just arrived at Gold Strike Canyon. Bunch of like hot spring pools that we're gonna go to, but first there's a part where the water comes out the wall here where it's crazy hot. From what I remember, I can barely put your hand in it, but we're gonna check that out. Then we're gonna hike up the canyon a little bit, check out the hot spring. Put your hand in it. Yeah. We made it. Let's turn around and go home now. We're done. we just finished hiking around Gold Strike Canyon, up into the hot springs up there, played around a little bit. It's pretty cool, but we got to keep moving. So we're gonna gear up here, get going back on the river, and try to put a couple miles in today. Got a little bit of headwind, minor white caps coming over the front, but it's not too bad yet. Yet being the key word. Boy Scout Canyon that we just stopped at. Funny story. I want to say when Bob and I first got our kayaks, maybe 15 years ago, we paddled all the way up here without really knowing too much about the river, and pulled our kayaks up onto the beach, hiked up to the hot springs, hung out, came back down after about an hour or so of fiddling around up there, and Bob and I's kayak were gone, and Bill's kayak was the only one left. And we're thinking to ourselves, like, who would steal a kayak way up here? But I stepped out on the river and looked. As I turned around, saw our kayaks floating down the river out in the distance, and Bob and I both immediately jumped in and started swimming. Bill got in his kayak and paddled down. He actually ended up pulling us a little bit of the way and ultimately catching the kayaks for us. Otherwise, we would have been up the river without a kayak and floating down. Everything about that was a really good idea until the adrenaline wears off and you realize you're in 59-degree weather swimming down a river with no mode of, like, no boat or anything. So it was a good lesson to learn. We've now tied our kayaks up this time and every time, so that never happens again. Oh yeah, this water is pretty hot. It's like almost difficult to step into. Still a little bit all right, but it's getting to the point where it's coming out of the lava tube. Pretty close to us, I'm thinking. Is it hot? The campsite where I ran into that rattlesnake several years ago. Seems innocent up there, but it's not. Rattlesnake den, horrors of the night. But we're gonna continue past it. We're just gonna skip that spot. I think we're gonna head down to Duck Beach and grab our lunch down there. We're at about right around 10 miles so far for today. So a little over halfway. We're meant to go 16 miles today. Yeah, it's been pretty easy, a little headwind on and off. We've been sticking to the edges, sides of the river, and avoiding most of the big white caps in the middle, but making pretty good time. Took a couple hikes, so that eats away a bit, but smooth sailing really for day one. Coming up on Duck Beach. We're gonna grab some lunch here, stretch out a little bit, maybe fill up our water containers. Sit in the shade a little too would be nice. Sand. Made it. Pretty awesome to think that we're going to be doing this for 12 days. It's like my dream. Just camp and hang out and exercise. It's good for us. Paddle got away from me. Thank you. Nice little bits of calmness, and it's so quiet out here. You can hear your rudder turning, and every paddle stroke is just the water dripping. It's really nice and extremely like relaxing. Although it's like a workout, but you kind of end up in like this zone or this rhythm that you go down the river, and your mind kind of wanders. My mind wanders. There's birds to look at. There's just beautiful scenery everywhere. You know, I think it's important to try to soak all that in during this section of the trip. It's called Black Canyon. It's one of the more scenic areas that we'll be going through on the first. Into the cave. There we go. All right, we are here in Emerald Cave. It's not very emeraldy because the sun is behind the mountains, but normally you can see really cool in here. It's a really emerald green, kind of like my shirt, but we lost that attribute today because we didn't make it here in time. Not that we care, we've seen it before. But we figured we'd stop in here just to, you know, say we did it and bonk into some rocks and back on the river. All right, let's do it. Okay, just off to my left here is the fish hatchery. Here at Willow Beach, we're almost to Willow Beach, but this fish hatchery manages trout, I believe, and brown trout. I think they do a release of X amount of trout into the river once a week. I can't remember if it's Tuesday or Friday or something, but they do release a bunch out. They might also do striped bass, I'm not sure, but I do know they do trout. Came down here to fish once and it was like some of the biggest trout I've ever seen, and caught, all released. But yeah, a lot of people try to get as close as they can to the fish hatchery here so they can pick up any of the fish that are being released into the river. I think a lot of the striped bass munch on all the little trout that they put out. I know that they were doing a program where they were releasing older trout just so they weren't targeted the second they hit the river. I'm not sure how that went, but in any event, that's the fish hatchery. Okay, we are coming up to Burro Wash. It's an off-road road that comes all the way down to the river. I know it because I've taken a 4Runner down here before. We got into a lot of wind there the last little bit, so just basically buckled down, white-knuckled the paddle, and went for it. But we made it. We're about to make it. Pulling in right now. We'll go ahead and try to find a little spot out of the wind, set up shop, make some dinner, and probably pass out. So, good day, good day. I'm logging about 7 hours and 15 minutes on the water, and 17.6 miles that we went today. So, pretty solid day. One of our shorter days, I guess, but hopefully we'll be getting no more wind or less headwinds and more current as we go down. Baby, we did about, I think it was like 17 or 18 miles today. So yeah, pretty solid day. We just got all the camp set up pretty much. Forrest is working on the fire right now. I'm heading to the river to fill this up. This again, it's called, I think it's called catadine, but basically it's a filtration system, 3 liters. So scoop this big bag up full of river water, and then we hang it somewhere around camp, and basically it'll gravity filter water into some various bottles that we'll have. So right now we'll get this thing full, fill all of our bottles up as much as possible. Probably do it again in the morning before we take off, but that way we have enough water to drink for the rest of the night, as well as to make our dinner. Going from the water down this thing, you just release it. Water. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and call it a night tonight. It is 8:41, not super late, but gonna try to get a good night's sleep as good as we can, and get up early, get a nice early start on the river. Hopefully we got about 20 something miles to go tomorrow, so a nice big paddle tomorrow, and we're gonna have to work through some of the shoulder pain and achy muscles. But fantastic day today. Did exactly as we planned. Got a nice spot to camp, and had a nice little fire, good food, and go ahead and do it again tomorrow. Peace out.